So I see the Mitchell and Arelli. I don't want to give the full name, but I'll give like what part of the name. Are you Mitchell or Arelli? Okay. All right, sweetheart. What can I help you? So this reading usually starts with a question. Obviously, I answer more than the question. If anything comes up surrounding that, I will definitely let you know. It's 10 cards. Sometimes it can be 12. So yes, it's a nice size. It gives you the info that you need. But I do start off with a question, because if I start off as a general in this one, it'll take forever because there's so much to know in general, you know what I mean? So, but you still have to start off with a question. Yeah, you still have to start off with a question. It's based on a question, because I have to fine tune, you know, the answer for you, and see what's surrounding that question, the topic really. So you can say something like, you want to know on the energy between you and so. That could be your question. You could talk about, do you, should you commit to this person, or, do you feel that there's another person you should choose instead of this one? Or is it two people that, you're bent about? Is it a trust situation, whatever. But you can do something like that just to kind of dive in. Okay. All right, let's do it. But first I'm going to break the ice with some dice. Okay, I'm just reading this. Okay. All right. I see a very big togetherness with you and this Gemini. I'm surprised. I don't know the status of the relationship there. What'd you say? I'm kind of over it now, but we can start with that. Okay. So check this out. Before you tell me anything, let me assess where. Okay. Okay. So I'm looking into the energy signature on the relationship as a whole. So I'm going to be describing something. Give me a chance to describe it so that you can kind of feel what I'm saying, and then you'll follow where I'm at, because I don't know your life and I don't need to know your life, but I'm going to grab the information, from the spirit world, and it's going to come in pieces, and it's going to make sense, but you got to give me a chance. Okay. No worries. I appreciate your candidness. I always tell people, just let me see what comes up naturally. I see you involved romantically with a person. I'm not going to get caught up in details. I'm very G-rated, so whether you smoochied once, twice, or almost, it doesn't matter. But I see that there's like, there's some romantic-y stuff, and I see that it's very connected. This can be a crush that almost got to something. This can be, where, it has for a little bit, and you're trying to see if it's going to get deeper, whatever. The point is, I see two people very, 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 very close in that way. And then I see a love situation that is a truer love, a deeper love. and it didn't work out, but it's not over. It's over in the context of dealing with each other, but it's not over in here or in here. And it's kind of putting a damper on whatever else can occur. So right there, I'm showing that there's a connection that's very spicy, or at least promising to be that. But I don't see, hang on one second, I was invited to something, sorry, to a battle or something like that. I'm reading, I can't do battles. What was I saying? Yeah, so I'm seeing two people like, you know, involved, but then I see a love story, like where there was like a deep in love stuff, and it was toxic, and it had a lot of problems. All right, so that's what I see right now. That being said, let me go ahead and get into the tarot. I've never read for you, right? Or have I read for you before? The reason I'm asking is because it sound, yeah, I was gonna say the reason that I'm asking is because this energy seems very, very familiar. Are you the female Scorpio that was in love with the Gemini, but the Gemini wasn't into you? Right? Is that you? Okay. I was gonna say this Gemini woman is similar. Like I've seen this energy before. Okay. How you doing? Yeah, so there's got to be someone in the picture now. You know, unless she's in a relationship. So check this out. Hang on. So I broke the ice with the reading, not thinking it was you, because I didn't realize it was you till now. And when I did, so either, let's backtrack a minute. Either if you're not into something crushy, romantic-y with somebody, that could have been her. It could have been that she's now involved with someone, but the person she really wanted. So let's find out who that was. If you don't want to tell me, I'll figure it out. Give me a second. Okay, I got the story now. Okay, so let's go back to the dice reading. I said that I see that two people have like this romantic-y vibe going on, but then I see that there was something more love, that didn't work out. It was like it was a deep feeling. And I thought that it was you, but then I recognized the energy of the Gemini. I said, wait, do I know this person? So now let's look at that reading with a deeper inspection. What the reading is saying now is you are getting closer to someone that you are crushing on, or you are about to. But it doesn't mean it's going to go that route. It might be that you feel that way and they don't exactly deliver in the same way. They don't exactly give that back. It gets close. Okay, and then the other one was you liking the Gemini, but it also talks about the Gemini having a love issue. So you see now with more detail, that's what we're going. Now, let's figure this out. See what's going on here. All right, so this is a little bit of a harsh. Okay, yeah. This part's a little bit of for her, you're saying. Yeah. Yeah. This is a little bit harsh the way this reading starts because I'm going to talk a little bit bad about your Gemini love, and I'm sorry for that. But this is what I see. She has an attitude problem. She has a temper and a mouth. And sometimes with a lot of people around her, she comes across as bitchy. Okay. She has love problems. She's having a love problem right now. Maybe it's the one that didn't work out for her in the dice. Maybe that's the love, or maybe it's a new one. And I see that she's very lost. She herself, within her own life at this time, she's very lost. She's looking for answers in her love life to comfort her childhood, to comfort her problems being upbringing. When you start a new relationship with somebody, it has to come from a good place, from a steady foundation and a healthy place. Where you just want to, like what you offer to her. You know, you care about your sports, you care about your goals, but you have what it takes to put what you want into a good relationship and to grow together. That's not what she's about. Her agenda is flawed. She is all over the place. She wants more money than she has, than can make. She's not satisfied easily. She's got a lot of problems. And this comes from her family. Her choices as well. But it's rooted at family problems and a lot of things she has gone through. Yeah, she can be very capricious and a brat in many ways. I see that causes her problem. Now, she's got a lot of good to her. There are some positive things. It's not all bad. But she is very self-sabotaging. If there's somebody that can break her heart and use her, she'll go for that person. But the person that can offer her love and kindness and everything else, she won't. That's self-sabotaging. And that comes from a very deeply rooted problem. Those are mother issues. And in some aspects, father issues too. But there's a strong mother problem here. I'm just saying, I see she's going to pull through her problem. You see, notice how the reading took an angle. Instead of the reading being about you and her, there's not enough you and her, I find, in this reading, where the reading can actually be about both of you with love. There's not enough here. There's not enough effort. There's not enough bond. That means that you have a friendly connection. There's no romantic foundation for this reading. So that means the next thing that's going to happen is it's going to look into her life, right? It's going to go to the next group of energy. So that's why this reading is turning out to be like that, because I don't see a connection with you happening. And I don't see her falling in love with you. And I don't even see that as a consideration from her. Her head is in her bubble. She's in her planet, in her world. Don't take it personally. It's not that she doesn't see you in that way. It's just she's in her own world, and there's a lot of people she dismisses, unfortunately. What's going to happen for her next, all right, is that she's going to make a new group of friends, and she may even start drinking heavily. That's not healthy, but All right. The big takeaway here is that, let's go to the end of the reading. Sometimes I read in reverse. I give the punchline first. I think that the result of this is that you're going to see her from afar. What I mean by afar is figuratively, just like saying that you're going to witness little things in her life is what I mean by that. You'll take notice. So if you see her with new people, or if you see her drive a new car, or if you see her with a different haircut, like you're seeing her like from afar, you're putting two and two together. You're going to be seeing her make a lot of mistakes from afar. Now, you don't know too much about her, but you know enough where you can kind of keep tabs. And, for the most part, and this talks about you seeing a lot of shitty things that happen to her in a way, because you wish her good things because you like her, but she also frustrates the hell out of you that there's no reason why she can't like you back. It's frustrating, right? So yeah, it's bittersweet. But I do see that you kind of feel happy about some of her F-ups that are going to happen. Not that you wish her bad, but it's almost like she asked for it, right? You are going to be witnessing her go through some of those things. The outcome of everything is that you're going to end up being friends. I don't know after that if it's going to be more. We're not there yet. I'm not going to escalate that far down because there's too much that has to unfold first. And the cards at this point are limited to a certain time frame. But let me tell you, you're going to go through she's stupid. The next phase you're going to go through is, okay, I don't really care anyway. And the next phase you're going to go through is, oh, now you want to be friends? Really? So bad timing. If I had to say if you end up together or not, I would say no. But I'd say that in some weird way you get the satisfaction of knowing that she tries to have a friendship with you later. I think that's interesting. And you may at that point go that route or not. It'll be your choice. But that whole story remains to be seen. There's more details to it. I think there's too much that has to unfold right now. This talks about a fear too. Do you do any kind of performing in front of her? Like a show or something where you... Oh, I remember you play sports, right? So does she watch your athletic stuff? The reason I'm saying that is because this talks about fear of performing differently or anxiety about performance. I don't know what that has to do with anything. I know it seems separate to me, but okay. So this talks about like in the next couple of months, there's going to be something where there's an extra like nervousness or pressure, and it has to do with you and her. So that it may be that you end up, being in a situation where you're stressed about that because she's either there or she could see you, or you find out she saw you, or something interesting like that. Not too big a deal, but it's coming into the reading. I would say that's it. She's in a situation now where she's really bitchy and she's caused a lot of problems for herself. She's having some love problems that are really affecting her a lot. She's angry. And she's going to change. She's going to go in a new direction. You're going to see a lot of little things here and there. Here's some gossip trickle here and there. Now, let me tell you something else that you can do. One of the best things you can do right now, there is going to be someone that enters your life, maybe by friendship, maybe by advice, maybe it's someone you already know, but this talks about when a person, verbalizes some realities and you say, you know what, you're right. And it makes you kind of switch gears or switch perspective on the matter. Maybe it's your mom or something, I don't know, but there's a realization point. I think you should gain that momentum and kind of like go with that, because this can help you kind of forget about this connection that's not worth your time. And in due time, she will naturally, you will find that there is some friendship that starts. Let me see something. Yeah, you're better off forgetting about the connection. I think that I think you should focus on the new things coming into your life. Yeah, I agree with you. I would hate to. I know it doesn't make me very popular to tell you not to go towards what you really want. You know, it upsets people. They want to go to a reader that says, "Oh yes, it's going to be wonderful." You'll be friends. She will. The day will come where she will try, not in a romantic way, but just like a friendship, just to try to talk to you. There's going to be something going on in your lives where you deal with each other more. I don't know what it is. I don't know your whole situation. I don't know if you're a student. I don't know if you work. I don't know. But I know that there's something that's going to push both of you in a situation where, you know, you deal with each other more, and a friend, she's going to strike up conversation with you. And at that point, when she does, you're going to be in a very different place. It really won't matter to you because you're going to be extremely sucked into something you really care about. You're very, very clingy to that. Maybe it's a in love romance or something, but you're just not, it's just not going to, you're like, okay, whatever feeling. I think you're better off. I think you're better off just not putting in any more energy into her, putting it into yourself, and let things fall where they may. You know? At the same time, I'll tell you something. I don't know if you believe me, but it's worth a shot. I feel that if you were in a relationship with her, you would be used. I believe she feels she's a prima donna. I feel that she would use your money. She would disrespect you. She's very mouthy. And I feel that she would really depress you, maybe even make you gain weight. I think she would do a number on you. She's a handful, and it's toxic. So be glad that this didn't go your way, because I don't think your mom would want that for you. You know, to be honest. This is not the kind of person that, no. Very materialistic, superficial, demanding, and a brat. And that's how the reading starts, with a brat. Like, she's a brat. She's a brat. Like, total brat. Okay? So, all right, sweetheart. Thank you so much. I'm glad to hear from you. All right, so I have a reading for Ariel or Arieli. Arielis, if I got it wrong, I'm sorry. Please educate me on how to say it right. Or Areli, I believe. Areli. Oh, okay, Areli. Hi, Areli. How are you, sweetie? So this, oh wait, I'm getting some kind of map or puzzles thing they make me do. Okay. Okay, here we go. Areli. Okay, so I just want to say really quick, when I stream on the letter Y, the letter T, that you really can't say on the platform because of the censorship, I do deep readings on there because it's uncensored and very comfortable. The chat is very, very comfortable. When I stream on TikTok over here, it's very censored, and sometimes the texts are quirky, a lot of things are filtered, and it's uncomfortable, and there's a lot of things I can't say. But when I'm doing like short reads, it's fine. But if you ever get like a longer read from me, I'll meet you on the letter Y, the letter T, that you can't say on here, because on over there, it's my favorite place. It's very comfortable. But I realize that the traffic isn't coming on here, and I realize that a lot of my free yes and no and whatever takes place on TikTok. So, all right. So here we go. Areli, I'm sorry. It sounds like the Little Mermaid, right? Areli? Oh no, Ariel, right? I think I'm thinking Ariel. Yeah, it reminds me of Ariel. All right, sweetheart. So this reading okay. Yeah, not a problem. So I do have a reading called Find My New Love. It's about 45 minutes, and it's the one that the big detail, but you probably didn't see it in my shop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert that version to the shorter version, and that should be fine for you. Not a problem, okay? All right, here we go. Because the 25 is like 20 minutes, and that's fine. It's good. It should throw everything into clarity. 1 second here, because like the cards stick. What's your sun sign? Oh, good. What zodiac sign are you, sweetie? Oh, Virgo? Okay. Now because you're close to the cusp, sort of, you may understand me very well. But I have this thing where Virgos don't always understand me. I'm telling you, just from experience, you're probably like, oh, I'm going to understand you. I'm a Virgo. I'm very analytical and I'm smart. We're going to have no problem. I'm telling you, there's going to be something that I say that you don't get me. Okay. I don't know why, but it's like I'll say something and it's like I'll sound like wah, 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 wah. Okay, here we go. Hopefully you can understand me. Okay, let's try this again. And a little crossed energy happens. No big deal. I'm going to start off with a dice reading. So I'm going to break the energy with a dice reading, kind of see what's going on in the big picture. Sometimes I do that. Okay. Well, I see that you are already in love with somebody or falling in love. It could be that you are trying to see if you fall in love. You know, your relationship with yourself and the way that you allow emotions, all I'm trying to tell you is that there's someone in the picture. And because of their lack of clarity for you to read on, you know, you don't understand where they're at, you don't know what you're going to do, which is very Virgo. I'm going to try for this. And if they do what I need and they match me at my energy level, then I'll go ahead with it. But if I think they're going to, you know, stiff me or trick me or something, I'm not going to go for it. So it's very analytical. Okay. So this is something that, let me see how far off this is in time. Hang on one second. Yeah, so this hasn't happened yet. So remember I said to you, when you said to me, I said, what reading do you want? Like, what do you want to base your question on? And you said, tell me about my love life. So I want you to think about two different things. I told you Virgo wouldn't understand me. Check this out. When I said to you, I'm going to check on your love life. Do you have a love life right now? No. There's no love life for you, but you want a love reading. So in the beginning of the reading, I told you, I have a reading called Find My New Love, right? But that one was bigger, and I was told you I was going to convert it to the shorter version. Find my new love. I just found your new love. And when I told you about it, you're trying to tell me that it's with yourself. You see what I mean? Virgo doesn't understand me. I told you. Other signs would have been like, oh, when? How far away is that? Right? Find my new love. Okay, I found the new one. So there's going to be, let me see how far ahead this is, okay? Okay, so we're looking at January, and we're looking at someone that already knows you. And the way that it plays out is that, so this person knows of you, knows about you. Maybe you deal with them and you don't realize it's romantic. Don't try to break your head over it, although I know you will because you're a Virgo. You're going to try to figure it out. It's going to make sense when it makes sense. All right. So your next love, the next one coming into the picture, is a person that knows of you already. Maybe it's online. Maybe it's someone you work with. Maybe it's someone in your group of friends. It gets romantic. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about the relationship. Okay. We're looking at around ballpark January time. It's not 100%, but it's around January. You can pencil that into your calendar. Around this time is when this can start the beginning of, I guess, the romantic part. And what do I mean by that? It can be introductions. It can be long conversations, getting to know each other. It can be flirtation. I see that this takes a while to unfold. Your very next relationship. Does that mean that this is the relationship the rest of your life? No. This is the very next one in line. That's why when I offer that reading, Find My New Love, It's several, that's why it takes so long. But this is a good one. We're just looking at the next one. So this is a relationship that you start talking. And it happens slow because you're not sure. It's not like you meet someone and, there's glowing stars and, all this like a cherub and flowers in the sky. No, this takes a little bit. Okay. You feel you're not sure about it. It catches you off guard. Mercury children don't do well being caught off guard. They like to know what's coming. They like to be aware. They like to analyze things. They want to prepare for it. Cross their T's, dot their I's. Virgo needs to be ready. They like that. They don't really like the unknown, the adventure. Pisces likes that, not Virgo. So you're not sure to throw yourself into something yet. And the vibe you give off to this person is guarded. And that's typical Virgo women too. The beginning, any guy that starts liking a Virgo female, they got to work really hard. Because she's not easy to convince. It's like, yeah, okay, you really feel that? I don't know about this. So they're very skeptical. So this talks about you kind of putting the guy on the chopping block. You'll see what I mean when you get there. You will know they like you and it's attractive, but it's going to be where you are not sure. You don't really, and the guy, it shows me that he's going to try a lot. It also talks about the guy's going to tell you a story about his past. This man is going to tell you that, he really put a lot of love and effort into a woman and she burned him pretty bad. And little does he know that he's just trying to be honest with you. But little does he know that the more he tells you, the more you're going to doubt him. So the beginning is a little bit rough. Let's go ahead and chip away at that and get more details, okay? So let's see what's going on here. So I don't see you single for too long. But again, it's going to have to be the way you make your choices, because if an opportunity comes your way and you close the door, I know Virgos can't stand the unknown. A Pisces would be like, oh yay, I love adventure, and a Virgo's gonna go, are you serious? Well, what do they look like? Let me do a database spreadsheet on every neighbor and every coworker, and let's see who has the hair color that they have. Let me get detective with it. Like, they can't stand the unknown. And the Pisces, no, I don't really want to know. I want the adventure of the moment. I know. I don't see you single for too long. He's brunette and he's not super tall. About average height. Okay. Do you know your rising sign? Do you know your rising sign? Out of curiosity. There's a reason I'm asking. Okay, that's fine. That's fair. That's fair. Okay. All right, so I got some information for you, okay? Here we go. The first thing that opens the reading, you know, after the dice and all that. Can you hear me clearly, Aurelie? Just making sure. Volume check. Okay. The reading begins, the tarot portion of it begins with you focusing very, very deeply on what you serve. So, for example, if you serve the community, if you work in government, it would be the people of, if you, let's say you work for the city, it would be the people of your city. If you work for a school, it would be the people of your school. If you work for, I don't know, a company, it would be the people in your floor, your department. So you're very focused on your work environment and the people that are surrounded. So if you're in school, it would be your classmates. It talks about you being focused on broad topics, where a person is very focused on not only their work, but the world or community of their work. So when you go home, sometimes your work goes with you. It's a hard time to close the door. Okay, I'm home now. Work is work. I'm home now. So there's like a blending of thought. So this, it also talks about a person being very much a hermit. You don't go out as much. You don't have enough open opportunity for you to meet more people. You do restrict your social life a lot by your limited commute and how much you get out. So yes, I get that you're sociable, but you don't do enough to open more opportunity doors for yourself. So for your love life. This talks also a great deal about your own spirit guides. Trying to help you, your ancestors, your spirit guides, the relatives that have passed on that still watch over you, those that do, trying to help you with whatever it is. There's this spiritual strength about you that is trying to help you, but you don't work with them. You kind of work against them. Think of it with money. If a person is not happy at their job, and there's a lot of people mentioning to them, oh, you should fill out over here. Oh, there's an opportunity over here. Oh, you should look over here. And on your lunch break, instead of filling out and giving friends resume copies and having some paperwork in your purse ready if someone mentions something, and being very, very proactive on filling out and all these jobs that you're going for, but you do nothing. You just stay in the same job. I'm not saying that's your situation. I'm giving you an analogy about work. I'm not saying this is you. I'm saying think about your love life like if you were in this work situation example. Why is that? Because it's sometimes easier to think about money than love when a person is love stuck. Okay, so if you think of your love life the way I explained the money part, how much are you trying? How much do you put yourself out there? Because guys, they get gas, they get groceries, they run errands, they're online. Single guys wanting to meet a girl are everywhere. I read for a bunch of them. And they're like, where do I go? And I'm like, not a bar. I want a girl like this and like this and like this. Go to a freaking bookstore and get a coffee. Do not go to a bar. You're going to get a bar whore. It's true. And they're like, you were right. Oh my God. I gassed her out. I'm like, I told you. You know, one of them asked a girl out buying a freaking turkey. It's funny. Okay, anyway. So it talks about you not helping what helps you. Now, there talks also about a man that's not attractive, that's going to be expressing he's attracted to you and he's not your type. So let's be honest, he's ugly. but he's sweet and he is very chivalrous. He wants to buy you stuff, but you're not feeling it, right? So that's awkward. So that just lets you know that maybe after this reading, or maybe you do a little search or in yourself, or maybe you shift the way you're going to focus the end of the year and beginning of the new year, whatever. Maybe you have an epiphany. And after that, it talks about you having a small shift. In this shift, you could say like, you know what, I am going to be more proactive in my level. I am going to be more, having my little meter go off and, send the signal. And it talks about in that you're going to have an unattractive man. And then you're going to think, wow, that's all I can attract. But this talks about waiting and being patient. It talks about there's more that you can do. So it talks also this reading about a fear and a desire. A fear that you want the typical guy that you've always envisioned in your mind. When you grow up, you're going to marry so and so and so. This talks about you afraid that you're not going to meet that person. And this talks about you having a very big hope on meeting that man. Who is that man? It's the man, the prototype that you came up with as a little girl, teenager, young adult, the one that you would envision. I want him to be like this. I want him to be like that. And you've hung on to that, which most women do, and men as well. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it talks about you keep going back to this fear of that you're just not going to work for you, or kind of like self-sabotaging, like thinking negative. So it's saying don't think negative. Let's talk about something else. A young Latina woman is showing up in the reading. So by young, I mean, average dating age. I don't know the age. And she comes in, she might have a child already. And this talks about someone giving you advice, or someone that plays a role in your near future. Maybe, I don't know if it's a sister or a best friend, or someone that this person eats very healthy, whoever they are. And that's they might have a child already. They're very caring. They give advice. So you're going to be hearing advice from multiple people that share their opinions to you. A little girl, her little girl. Yeah. Okay. Now here's another thing. This is really awkward. Okay. So let me finish with that. So the thing with her is that she's going to give you some very valuable advice that you may not realize. Not everything she says is great, but there's going to be something that she tells you and it's like, whoa. So it's saying, pay attention to those that love you, that are around you in the next couple of weeks, month and a half or so, because sometimes someone that loves you very close, they might have a really good idea, a really good thing that just maybe someone inspired her to say it. Maybe it was your grandmother, or maybe it was a great grandmother, or, in other words, sometimes messages travel from loved ones in the living, inspired by those that have passed. Sometimes that happens too. And it's saying, be more open to advice and tips, because you keep being tried to be helped. So you're a person that maybe you have a dream and you ignore it. And maybe you'll see an omen of something and you'll be like, nah, I'm just believing stupid hype. And the reading is saying, no, there's a lot of things surrounding you spiritually and with people and messages and a lot of cool things that you're not addressing. We're trying to help you. Why? Because the whole message here is you are thinking negatively. You're in a rut when it comes to, you may be doing great with other parts of your life because Virgos are very lucky. So you may be doing very well with other parts of your life. But when it comes to love and romance, you're closing doors and you don't realize it. Your behavior does not, okay, that's good. So there's something that you're stopping though. So if a person is very stressed out and they're not paying attention to that little intuitive voice and they have dreams, sometimes they program themselves to not remember the dream. So you gotta, whatever it is, it's being blocked and it comes from you. All you have to do is realize it. That's all. Now, there's something a little awkward, like I said before, coming up in the read that I don't like to talk about it, but it came up, so I got to talk about it. It talks about you Okay, so spells, magic, love spells, things like that. Not now, because there's obviously you're not dating anyone, but in the future, in the near future, so a chunk of 2026, it talks about you going that route, and you have to be careful with that. That's the message. So today it doesn't make any sense. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know if you are spiritual minded in that way. I don't know if you have relatives that dabble in that, or maybe they strongly practice. But it talks about letting you know, okay, okay. Like religiously, like you're born into that type of religion, or just you love it and you're drawn to it. Because some people are born into that culture and it's part of their life and it's part of everyday spirituality. Some people have cultures where they have 2 different types of faiths or 3 different types of faiths that are mixed, and that's fine, you know. But this talks about there's going to be a situation in 2026 where you go that route, and maybe you believe that it's going to sweeten things, or maybe you believe it's going to help things out, or maybe it's a protection, and it's saying be careful. Don't be very careful. Why is that? Why am I saying that? Because you can be, the way I see it is like this. I see you going from 0 dating to a little mini journey where you start realizing, okay, I gotta keep my little female meter on, bleep, 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 and I gotta start listening to advice, and I gotta start opening myself up more. And then I see like an ugly guy come in, but you gotta deal with frogs before the prince. And I see that there's gonna be that other guy that likes you. Maybe it's the same one. Maybe it's not, because the ugly guy you don't like right away, but the other one, he's not ugly. But the thing is that you're not sure of the vibe, and that's fine. So I think it's 2 different ones, possibly. I think it is, but we will see. You will see, you know. And then after that, there's going to be more that opens up, and you're going to meet somebody, and you're going to like them. And then you're going to want to go the magic route to either stimulate more or protect it or whatever it is. And it's warning you, because that one that you get very attached to is not going to be the one. It's the one after. And you are already destined to be with someone of a different culture than you, which maybe that's not what you usually go for. Maybe as a Virgo, you tend to go with a matching match. But in this particular case, it shows there's someone that steals your heart in a good way from a different culture. So maybe they speak a different foreign language, possibly, because language shows up in this read. So that's interesting. And it is what it is. So it's exciting. So you're going to have to just believe in yourself, believe in positive things, and know that you're not going to stay single for very long. But you got to ride that ride, you know, got to ride that journey and let things unfold. And remember to not force something. To be honest with yourself, if you don't like it, you don't like it, be nice, but you can't force it and push it, because I see you falling in love and then being obsessed with that focus and it not serving you, and only letting go. And realizing that you cannot control those things, you will see the other one. And that's one of the worries of what surrounds you spiritually and protects you. That you don't look when you should, and then when you realize and pick something, it's the wrong thing to pick. And that's one of the love karmas that you might have in your astrology. I don't know, I haven't read your chart, but since I'm a love astrologer, I can tell you, when I see this kind of energy in tarot, a lot of times it's I see it in the chart. And, you know, obviously I would have to see the chart, you know, but it's probably very close, because this talks about when a woman has to learn a certain everyone has karmas. Sometimes it's career, sometimes, you know, karma itself is part of life and destiny, but there are many karmas in the path, and correcting them and dealing with them, and that's part of lessons in life, right? So, because that's a word that's very thrown around and very misused, and I'm talking about specific little lessons in the path. Everybody's chart is filled with lessons, but there's all different kinds. Okay, it's going to happen again because this is future. It's not strange that sometimes in the future, a little piece of it's happened in the past, because people have patterns. Yeah. So that's it. That's the reading. Find your new love. There's a couple of hits. Yeah. 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 And this repeats itself. Only this time, yeah, you felt obsessed. Yeah. But that was the summer. Now this is going to be deeper than that. So you end up, so you got a taste of it in the summer. Now you're going to feel a lot more in the spring. Around, you know, I don't have exact timing. It's in 2026, but there's a couple. What I have said is scattered about pieces of the year. It's going to happen in order, but you might have like one event happen 3 weeks from now as an idea, and then you're going to have another one 2 months, and then another one 4 months, you know, whatever. But just be aware. But this one is big. You may even have physical smoochy or something, because I see you very into this guy, and it's bad, like love bite, you know. And then it can shake you, and the worry of your protectors, the worry of your spirit guides, the worry of your relatives that watch over you, you know, is like saying she can miss the one, which is going to cross her path, but she may not realize it, and he may not realize it, because there's so much energy. Because remember, magic manipulates situations. So if you let this happen organically, you'll be fine, because he's your destiny to cross your path anyway. But if you start with magic on the wrong one, it's going to manipulate and delay the connection with the guy. I'm telling you, I'm an astrologer and a magical practitioner. I understand the difference of you cannot erase a destiny, but damage can be done with magic to delay it. And it can ruin something, and then the person tries again in the life, but it's later, and it kind of shifts, you know. And it's hard to explain, but that's what I'm saying. In your particular situation, be natural, be organic. If you're going to do magic, do things for yourself for good luck. Do things for yourself for high energy, good vibes. You can never do enough of that. But to do something with a person in love, no, because the guy that's supposed to sweep you off your feet is a foreigner. He's of a different culture. That can be, maybe his mother is the same culture you are, and maybe it's his father that has a different culture making him different. Or maybe it's both his parents, or maybe it's just his dad, you know, whatever. Maybe he was adopted and he has your culture ethnically and nationally, but maybe it's the upbringing that was really different. There's going to be something about him that is unique, and it's very interesting. And it talks about foreign languages and foreign food experiences as well with this person. So keep your mind open, and yeah, it's a difficult ride, but it's rewarding. And think of this time in your life as something is getting redirected. Think of it like right now you're in a place where you are slowly going to be pushed spiritually to come out of your shell and be aware. And then you're going to deal with a couple of little tests only to get to the right spot, provided that you make the right moves. Be happy. Feel beautiful every day, celebrate, think positive, put your mind in happy things, dance, enjoy nature, celebrate. You nourish yourself with good energy and give out good energy, and be positive in everything that you do, and know in your heart that in 2026 at some point you're going to be in that interesting relationship, and when you encounter some of the things I've told you, be positive about it. Just say, you know what, that's okay, this is a little dent in the path and I'm going to keep going. You'll see. And follow your intuition and be more spiritual. Try to pay homage to what protects you. You know, whatever faith you are originally. If you're Jewish, go to temple. If you're Muslim, go to the go to the mosque. If you're Catholic, go to your church. You know, whatever tradition is of your bloodline of what you are, be more spiritual and ask them to protect you and to bring positivity your way. All right? And have faith. So you as long as you are happy and positive, destiny is going to happen anyway. It's just how it plays out. That's the trick. So I hope that helps, sweetheart. If there's anybody that is waiting on a reading that you booked with me, they're 25. If you're on my list, let me know. If you want a free question answered, let me know as well. I'd appreciate if you bookmark my YT, how should I say, can I say the word channel on here? It's very censored. I'd appreciate that because that's where I do my large readings. Oh, no shaking your boots. Be happy. All right, sweetheart. Oh, and please, if you can, when you're in that relationship, pop into the stream. Give us the good news. Yeah, let me know. Lucy, I'm happy, or something like that. I like that. Please. I mean, you could pop in and, you know, you could say, oh, I'm at that stage or something. That's fine, but I like the happy stuff. Thank you, honey. I appreciate it. Let's see. Christina is asking, will you meet your life mate? Yes, I don't have to ask that spiritually. You will not be alone. I'm a love specialist, a love astrologer. I do tarot, all kinds of things. I'm a love psychic. It's people will not say alone. It's one of the fears of people. There's always someone for you. So, for example, one of the things I always say is, let's say that the soulmate in your chart already happened and it doesn't work out. It didn't work out. Let's just say that. Hopefully it hasn't, and you know you have that happy connection with the soulmate. But let's say that the soulmate on your chart didn't work out. Does you stay alone? That's it? No. The moon and Jupiter, you know, and Venus are going to work very hard in your future to bring you love chances. So be positive. Be positive. You're not going to stay alone. I'm telling you. Let's see. Jessica, has Leo been thinking about you? No. But hang on a minute. Do you have a brother? Jessica, do you have a brother? I know that's a really weird question. I know you're asking a love question. I get it. But I can't help what comes out. Okay. Your brother's coming out in the reading. Let me see something. So it's a warning. I don't know if one of them is an Aquarius. Okay. So You got to think about something a minute, okay? Usually, you know, siblings don't really come out in readings of each other, and parents don't come out in readings of each other. But every once in a while, I'll do a reading, very random, like a woman came in to get a reading. Yeah, that's probably the one that's coming up. Yeah. So I'm getting an Aquarius, that's what I was going to say. That sometimes it's either one that passed or it's one that, because you're connected and they don't get readings and there's a warning, sometimes the spirit world will say, wait, we got to let them know. So sometimes it creeps in. It's like I was going to say before, this lady came to me for a career reading on her, and it was a warning about her daughter's marriage. And it was like so random. And, you know, she ended up thanking me and all this stuff. And we talked about stuff. But she came in for a career reading, nothing to do with her daughter. But because of that alarming moment, so this could be the one that passed, probably because I am a medium. So sometimes mediumship does creep into my divination sessions. I don't like it, but sometimes it does. I like to keep those things separate, obviously. I don't like to talk about those that have passed when I'm giving love readings. It's, to me, it doesn't match. It's distasteful. So when I host mediumship, it's separate, but it's coming in. So let me find out. Let me find out. 1 second. Yeah, it's a warning for you from the one that passed. Okay. He might have been an Aquarius, so I don't know that you know his birthday. You would have to know his sun, moon, and rising. But his spirit must protect you. And that makes sense, because even if you weren't close, sometimes when spirits pass, naturally, when there's a baby in the family or the youngest sibling, you know, they usually for a time protect the sibling or the baby in the family or something. Sometimes that happens. Usually if they were close to you, they would protect you for a short time or a couple of years, or maybe just first you and then another relative. It's a whole complicated thing. He's here. He must protect you. Okay. So he's coming in to give you a warning. So let's find out what that is, okay? So do you know the name Timothy? This is a separate thing. Do you know a Timothy, Jessica? Okay, be aware of that name. There's something significant to it. So maybe like pencil it. Maybe it'll make sense later. I know it's odd. Okay. Okay. This is even more strange, okay? This talks about, he's pointing to water or something liquid. It can be medicine, it can be alcohol, it can be something in the water system. Maybe if you bought a new water filter, it's to protect you. So there's something that you could take internally or something that you can be exposed to, and he's trying to warn you. So warnings are usually like, it could be an accident, it could be that someone's going to be revengeful, or something can happen at a public place, like something dangerous. In this particular case, he's pointing to liquid or water. It can be alcohol, you know, It can, if you drink a lot or you've never drank a lot and you're going to be in a scenario where there is, or it can be a drink spike if you're going to be attending bars and you're not used to that scene. I don't know your life, but the warning, I know this is totally random. I get it. I'm sorry. I know that you asked a love question, but I can't help what comes out. At the end of the day, it's whatever spirit wants. And he's coming in to tell you to be aware of something in liquid form. So you have to think. If you move to a new place and there's something with the pipes, it could be something in the water system. If you maybe you're going to drink heavily for the holidays, or maybe it can be, like I said, something with safety in drinks. Sometimes females, when they go out, they're putting a lot of stickers and things in drinks now to protect drink spiking. I don't know. If someone tells you to try something and it can have a toxic effect, something like soups, I know can be very liquidy. I doubt it's soup, but because I'm seeing it as a liquid. So it's, I don't know. Is it, maybe there's a new medicine that you take? Is there anything? Okay. Is there anything that you feel that it can be? Give me a second. I feel that honestly, it has to do with something in a drink they give you. Okay, this is what he's saying. Now, you got to understand that one of the worst things a person can do when they leave a psychic reading is to assume they know the answer. I want you to open your mind, because if not, the message can be flawed. Not the message I'm giving you, but the result of you understanding it, right? I want you to walk away with clarity. Let's not taint the clarity. So let's go over what your brother is saying. He's warning you that taking in liquid can give a problem. Now, what are the ways that can happen? Like I said, it can be my mistake, where someone is taking something medicinal in liquid form, and they give it to you by accident. Or this is a time where there's a lot of parties, there's a lot of food and hanging out, and it can be an error that is just by mistake. It can be that you get something you're allergic to. It could be an allergy that you don't know. Some people are allergic to rum and they don't know it. Some people have an allergic reaction to tequila and they don't know it. And they might have one type of cocktail their whole life, and then they switch to a different flavor and they have a weird effect. You know, it can be an allergy. It can be a toxic reaction. It can be that it something they give you doesn't mix well with what's already in your system. You know, it can be contamination. It could be that there could be a germ or something that there's a bacteria in the water. A lot of things can have, if you're in a kitchen and they're not washing their hands and they dealt with eggs or chicken and they go to grab the inside of something and there's liquid to it, you know, it's kind of a little far-fetched because cooked things are cooked. This is pointing to liquid in a cup or liquid in a bottle. But, you know, it can be something like that. It can be, so open your mind and realize that unless you pour it yourself, let's find out a time frame, okay? Because nobody can live with that rule for like a year. That's crazy. Let me give you a time frame, okay? By February, you don't have to worry about this. I mean, always be aware your whole life, as everyone should. But this like crazy, weird, like, warning I'm giving you or whatever, it has its timing in December and in January. So by the time February rolls around, you can relax and, just have your normal precaution. But now I want you to have like super precaution. So unless you fix it yourself. So if you go out to eat, get a bottle of water. It's a couple dollars more, but it's worth it. And you open it and you tell the waitress, oh, please, don't pour it in a glass. I want to open it myself. It'll be weird, but you better be safe. It's better to be safe. She'll be like, okay, and they'll give it to you. You open it. That's true, but it's already foreseen by him. And by my spirit guides as well, my ancestors. They're seeing it already. So that means that it's not an if. It's saying there's an ugly thing that's, it's a premonition. But it's coming in a reading, So they're seeing it. So what you want to do is you want to avoid that situation. You want to go the other way and stay safe. So just, it's tough, but if you're in a party, serve it yourself. Make sure it's the container. One more thing, honey. I know, I'm sorry. This is so weird and it's awkward for me too, but I got to make sure. This is why readings, it's not a perfect science. You never know. I try to do quick little love things, but you never know what's going to happen. So give me a second, sweetheart. The important thing is you walk away with the message, okay? Okay, hang on. Okay, this is going to be really annoying and might piss you off. I gain nothing from it. Obviously, this is a free reading. It's just to help you, okay? And why would I lie? I have a small business going, and I've been here 4 years. You can see my videos, how many years, and I show my public face. Like, honestly, this is from the heart. Take it or leave it. It's just to help you out. It better be safe than sorry. So this is a scenario where if you just bring your beverages from your home. I tried to ask if she just drinks milk from a little container. Is that okay? No. If she just asks for water? No. What if she asks for, in any restaurant or party, if she asks for just a closed bottle? No. Okay. The answer to keep you safe in this situation is bring a beverage that you bought from the grocery store, anywhere you go, bring it in your bottle. I don't care if you have to go out and buy like a rhinestone cutesy glass, whatever. As long as you drink from what you purchased yourself. I know it's annoying. It's ugly if you sit in a fancy restaurant all pretty or a party and here you're taking out your own beverage. I know it's tacky, but you know what? It's better to be safe. So it's that it's just saying tell her, okay? Tell her to just for the next all of December and all of January until December 1st. Yes, to drink only from what she buys herself. Whatever beverages you buy yourself from your grocery store that are in your home that did not leave your belongings, like your satchel or your purse or whatever. Drink from what you got if you leave. So that's the answer, sweetheart. And I hope that you, with your own intuition and your own spirituality and your own gifts, I hope that you're able to understand maybe a little bit more, and maybe it'll resonate with you. Maybe you will get a weird feeling. Maybe something will clue you in and you'll be like, oh my gosh, I know where it was coming from. I hope you get more clarity. I know I'm rushing it, but that's the best I can do as long as you get that protection, okay? And yeah, and I just have to say, I thank the spirit of your brother. May he rest in peace. And I'm closing the read. All right. Thank you so much, sweetie. You'll be fine. Don't be stressed out. It's just a silly thing. A lot of women these days, they're doing stuff like that anyway because it's safe. So don't let it ruin your holidays. It's no big deal. There's so many pretty cups out there and so many pretty things. Don't let it do that. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. All right, guys, thank you. I will be back to do some free questions. If you want to book a reading, my list is open, and you can always reach my shop through my email. Okay, I'll be back, guys. Okay, Rosalia, not a problem. I just have to take a phone call, and because sometimes I do private readings. I'll be back. I gotta hop off the live. Thank you, sweetheart. Okay, thank you so much, YouTube, for watching.